Hello, it's Bryan here from thegreatgordino.com, taking another look at the point I'm making in one of my quote images, and this is one that you might think is a load of old nonsense. Here it is. There's a good way to deal with other people's nonsense. Walk away. Now, you might be saying, you might be shouting, shaking your head and tutting as you're looking at this video, no, Gordon, it's just not that simple. You won't be surprised to hear I've got a reply to that, and part of the reply is, I understand it isn't always that simple, but the other part of the reply is, sometimes it can be. So, what do I mean by other people's nonsense, and what do I mean by walking away? We all have to deal with other people's nonsense. I'm no exception. I have nonsense that I have coming my way. Sometimes that nonsense is very clear. We understand perfectly well what it is because it's right up personal and right in our face in the real world, impacting us all the time. That could be from our family, it could be from our friends, it could be from people at work, it could be from society at large around us. Real nonsense that has a real impact in the real world. Some nonsense, though, is less clear. It's less clear to recognise, it's less clear that we're letting it impact us. I call it sneaky nonsense. And the sneaky nonsense that I'm talking about in this video is a modern phenomenon, and it's to do with the rise of the internet, and specifically the rise of social media. Because what happens on social media is that it's very easy, you don't have to look far, before you see someone moaning. Moaning about themselves, moaning about someone else, moaning about this, moaning about that. Now, a lot of it is very easy to smile at, but it's also very easy, and I've been guilty of this myself, very easy to get involved, to hit that comment button and start to get involved in something nonsense which doesn't have to impact us and shouldn't be impacting us, but we're drawing the impact onto us. What's worse is that it can be self-perpetuating nonsense, because last word syndrome kicks in. I've definitely been guilty of that, and you can see other people doing it all the time. They have to have the last word. There's always one more comment that can be made. It may seem funny, it may seem like harmless fun, but actually it's damaging. And it's damaging on two fronts, because firstly it eats up our time. It's a time sucker, and it's taking up time and energy that we could be directing towards more positive things. But because we're using that time and energy to focus on this nonsense, this negativity online, apart from wasting that time, it starts to tell our brain that focusing on the negativity is the norm. And then we can take that to how we interact with other people online and how we act offline as well. And guess how we start viewing things? In a negative way. So what can we do about this nonsense, both offline and online? Well, in the online world, there's quite simple ways that we can do it. One is to allow blocks of time for our interaction, particularly on social media. If you only allow yourself certain blocks of time, that means that you start to realise, as habit kicks in, that you don't have time to get engaged with this nonsense. And the second way to get less involved in other people's nonsense is to wait 30 seconds before you leave that comment. And in those 30 seconds, ask yourself, does this actually impact me? Does it involve me? Should I be getting involved? Should I be letting it impact me? And if the answers to those are no, which you'll be surprised how often the answers are no, don't hit the comment button. Now, if you combine that with only allocating certain blocks of time for social media, you'll find you're getting less and less involved in the nonsense. And not only can you feel the benefits yourself, you'll also be able to spot easier when other people are just getting involved in the nonsense. Which again, that perpetuates in your mind why you shouldn't be doing it and the benefits of you avoiding it. Now, I did talk about nonsense in the real world, I say the real world, in the offline world as well as the online world. That nonsense can be, as I said, your friends, your family, people at work, the society in large around you. Now, that can have real impacts. Is it possible though that you can tell someone that you're not going to put up with that nonsense anymore? You can tell them where the limit is, and that if it carries on, you're going to disengage and walk away. And then more than that, if the nonsense doesn't carry on after you've said that, that you then follow through, act and walk away. Now, as I said, I understand it isn't always as simple as that. Sometimes the situations are difficult to get yourself out of. If you try and get yourself out of that situation, there can be consequences, real damaging consequences for you and maybe people around you, and they might be violent consequences. Now, there's help out there for issues like that, help that is, in all honesty, beyond the scope of this video, but the help is out there, professional help. But the point I'm making in this video is about your choices on acting on the nonsense that you can deal with, both offline and online. Because to allow space in our lives for more of what we want, for more of our passions, our joys, what makes us feel alive, we have to get rid of other things. And one of the best, easiest sometimes, quickest sometimes, most beneficial sometimes things that we can get rid of is these distractions, other people's nonsense. So look to the nonsense around you, and I'm no different, so I have nonsense around me that I let impact me more than I should, but I do try my hardest to walk away from other people's nonsense. Is it possible that you could look at the nonsense affecting you from other people, and that you could do more about simply walking away? So I hope you enjoy that message. What did you think? Do you enjoy the message? If you did enjoy it, let me know. Leave a comment below wherever you happen to be seeing this video. Pop over and see me at the blog, thegreatgordino.com, where you can find a lot more of my other content, my videos, my articles, my images, and also you can get my free 8-step goal achievement formula. Now that's something that I've used for many years and use right up to this day, that will help anyone to achieve goals, to get down that path of progress. And if that means that you think you need some help to get rid of other people's nonsense, then this 8-step goal achievement formula will definitely help. So go over and grab that at the blog, thegreatgordino.com. Pop over and see me on, yes, social media. Facebook is my social media channel of choice. Facebook.com/thegreatgordino is my personal profile. And then there's my pages there, Facebook.com/yourlifetransforming and Facebook.com/thegreatgordino newsletter. So it's Gordon Bryan signing off for now. I'm trying to walk away from as much of other people's nonsense as I can. Make sure you're doing the same too, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.